Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. Date is 13th of December. I always need to look at the calendar because I feel like time is, if I do not see time, it's just all blurred and I lose track literally. I don't know about you guys, but like December feels super fast, faster than even November. And to be honest, I can't believe it's Christmas next week. I mean, the weather here is gorgeous, sunny. Don't want to make you jealous, but like a pleasant 17 degrees aquí in Javier. So yeah, it's hard to imagine it's Christmas actually. In any case, I'm just looking at this period of time or this whole Christmas celebration as another way of just sharing, and another celebration. Every day should actually be a celebration because we're here and we're on this beautiful journey all together, no? Fin, it's afternoon here, and I like the different light in my studio, my yellow studio. I like this light. Now that I went for my usual walk this morning, um, yeah, to be honest, I've struggled a little bit yesterday. Something happened, and in my walk this morning, I reflected on it. And remember those stone towers I was talking to you about that I think definitely in pilgrimages, the pilgrims make these stone towers. But here also, when I go for my walk on those nature paths, I see that people have built these little towers, and when I can, I add my pieza on the top. This time was interesting because I tried to fit, my piece on the top, and I was kind of like trying to squeeze it in the right way, and then the thing just collapsed, and I'm like, oops. And then I figured, because it collapsed to the point where there was a solid foundation. So it made me realize that actually there was, my putting my piece on top was of little use because the foundation just below it was not stable. So inevitably, adding more weight made it collapse. And it made me think about my journey this year and how this entire year has actually been about building myself up again, brick by brick, a bit like stone by stone, and building a solid foundation for myself. My journey has been such that I reached a point in my life 2 years ago where my entire structure collapsed. So I had like a huge breakdown. And I realized that it was inevitable because the foundation was not there. It was built on a false premise. So my house, my soul house, collapsed, me with it. And yeah, so far I've tried really to build myself up from scratch, with intentionally with the kind of bricks or ingredients that I want to use and see in my life. And this little stone tower this morning reminded me like, hey, you better build a strong foundation, otherwise the thing will collapse again. And yeah, in terms of struggles, yesterday, it's interesting how we attract situations or people into our lives to remind us of what still needs to be healed. So I thought I had gotten over or had healed my people pleasing or this searching for external validation mode I had been in most of my life out of a lack of self-trust. I thought I had gotten over that kind of pattern, but yesterday I was reminded that, hey, that actually still requires some healing and basically self-love, no? Because what is it that heals our wounds or insecurities or anything we struggle with? I mean, ultimately, what is it that heals it? It's self-love. So voila, I basically called in a situation where I was unconsciously still looking for external validation. I was trying to explain to someone from my past my truth. My intention was to share my truth, but I should have known that the other person would actually never be able to accept or understand or give me that validation in terms of understanding, because she was in a completely different level, different stage or even different kind of dimension. So what was I expecting here, And I asked myself that, and basically the answer was, well, I wanted her to understand and validate what had happened to me. But in the end, she didn't. I felt hurt because I felt like she denied my truth, my reality. But in the end, it wasn't the other person who hurt me. It was myself, because I myself manifested, i.e., created that situation and brought this person back into my reality to hurt me. No, it was me. Other person didn't hurt me. So it was interesting, and I had to go through the whole cycle again of accepting what happened, forgiving myself, and loving myself, and that's a big thing, because my modus operandi, my usual modus operandi is self-flagellation, beating myself up, self-loathing, I think that can be a trait of a depressive person who, when you fall into this vicious vortex, downward spiral of beating yourself up and feeding the inner critic, that's just those of us, who know that, how quickly that can spiral downwards, and it's not going to lead us anywhere in a good place, no? Good place meaning a place of care and care for yourself, no? So anyway, it was interesting. I pulled these two cards after that because I wanted to, the cards help me because of their symbolism. And it's kind of eerie how they always reflect. They're like a reflection for me of what's going on in my reality. So one of the cards I pulled, this is Little Unknown Animal, Wild Animal deck, super cute. And this card is the Six of Swords. I love this deck because it's, it has its own, unlike the traditional tarot deck, is it Waite deck? This one has its own symbology. And it's very close to the symbols I use. That's one of my paintings, no? Et voila. We have the Six Swords, which are a bit hard to make out, lying on the ground, and then look what looks like fog or rain, and then the rainbow on top. And I looked up the significance of the card, and basically it said hope, new horizons, and hope after struggle. So I was like, yeah, the rainbow only comes after the rain. And we only see it in terms of, or thanks to the contrast. No, it's a natural phenomena, refraction of light, but we're only able to see it because of the refraction through the raindrops. So without the raindrops, we wouldn't even be able to see the rainbow. And yeah, I guess the swords represent the difficulties or obstacles we go through. It's kind of interesting because it's also linked to my reading episode 15. Remember when I pulled Archangel Jeremiel, Overcoming Difficulties? And there was the feather and the spirit coming out of the feather, no? So this card is kind of linked to that card, and similar meaning. We're overcoming difficulties. There's hope on the horizon. There's a rainbow. It's always a rainbow after difficult times. And the rainbow is like, for me, is the lesson, the lesson we find in difficult times or in painful times. There's always something we can draw from it. And it's our attitude or our disposition to take that lesson, appreciate the lesson for what it is, no? So that's this one. And the other card I pulled was, this one is called Sacred Power Reading Cards, these cards. And I pulled Medicine, Luis, and there's this kind of shaman, Native American shaman, and a dove and a kind of galaxy up there. And he looks like he's meditating, he's going inwards. He has some kind of flower of life, ¿cómo se llama? Talisman here. And again, I looked up the meaning of the card, and it said, something like you are your own healer. Which is true. We are our own shamans, no? And why is that? It's because at the end of the day, we are unique. Nobody can understand yourself as good as you can. Other people can reflect and help you and guide you. And, same goes with medicine and healers. They can guide you, but essentially they're guiding you back to yourself. A good healer or a good leader is someone who can empower you to find your own truth, to help you stand in your own power and not take it away by depending on them, an external figure. So if we really listen to ourselves, we know what's good for us. We know the body is so wise. If we sit with it, I've gone over this a few times now, if we sit with the pain, listen to our body instead of getting rid of symptoms enseguida, your body will help you understand it and guide you in terms of what it needs to get better. And we know when something is good for us, when it makes us feel good. Again, the importance of feelings, no? And when you stand in your truth, when it feels aligned, when there's no distortion in yourself. In German there's a beautiful word, Einklang. Wenn du mit dir im Einklang bist. Einklang is one sound. When you are basically in harmony, when all the chakras are aligned, when all the energy flows harmoniously, when you are in Einklang, means you are in harmony with yourself, with your own truth, with your own resonance. And nobody can tell you that. You will know it when you feel it. It's something that has to be experienced, no? So following your feelings will guide you towards your own Einklang. Yeah? And medicine, so many things can be medicine. Even that situation I created, with this person who showed me what I still had to heal in myself. She was in a way medicinal, because, as I said, it's not comfortable. Maybe it's not comfortable to be faced with your own wound in the reflection of another, but it's the only way to actually really heal. If we run away from our wounds, we will never heal. We will never go back home to wholeness. So, maybe listen to yourself, and if you are not in Einklang with yourself, what is it that could be medicinal for you? What is it that can be nurturing for you? I mean, medicine is nurturing, no? They say food should be nurturing, should be medicine for us, for our bodies, and not toxic, no? Same as with thoughts and everything we surround ourselves with. Maybe you can ask yourself, is it medicine or is it toxic? Is it nurturing me or is it distorting me? Is it bringing me joy or energy, or is it taking away from it? We're actually we're so complex and so multi-layered and multi-dimensional. Everything affects us deeply, colors, the color of your room, plants, air, everything has an impact on you. So it's good to be conscious of what makes you feel good and what's nurturing in your life, and whatever is taking away from your own Einklang. If you love yourself, if you care for yourself, then get rid of it. If it doesn't serve you anymore, get rid of it and look for your own medicine. Yeah. Y con esto, señores y señoras, liebe Freunde, mes chers amis, I want to speak more French. Languages are a bit like motors. If you don't like cars, if you don't use them, they kind of get estancados, or like coffee machines, they get like calcinated. So my mother tongue or father tongue is German, actually, my first language. English is second, then Spanish, then French, then Thai, and then Tagalog. And yeah, I just use English the most, hence, voila. Now, in any case, I hope you're having a brilliant start to the week, and I hope you're surrounding with yourself with everything that uplifts you, nurtures you, and helps you become whole again, because it's in your wholeness that you can shine your brightest and be of purpose to not only to yourself but to the world. ¿Vale? Con esto les saludo y les mando un gran abrazo y muchos besos y nos vemos mañana, ¿ok? Owl and I, so cool. Say bye. And thanks for sharing, liking, and subscribing to my channel. Ciao.